What's up? Haven't been super compelled to do something like this in a while, but as my life draws near the 25 mark, part of me just wants to show off what it was like collecting, more than 10 years ago, around there. I guess not all of them. I have new gold stars thrown in there just to fill it out because I originally only had 9. But I love these cards. Each one pretty much has a story of its own. For example, I guess this Kyogre Gold Star, I bought it in a lot on eBay. I know eBay not very exciting, but it was an $85 lot. There was like 17 cards in total. It was $85, so about $5 a card. And I mean, that was one of them. Just kind of crazy the stuff you could find back in the day. And if you're like, oh, well, you probably, most of the value was probably in the Kyogre. I mean, at the time, it maybe was, but, like, so many cards came in this lot from these pages, too. Like, this was in that lot, this was in that lot. Let me scoot this over. This Ho-Oh was in that lot, this was in that lot. This one was in that lot. I love Moltres, I love Ninetales. Latias, I believe. It's so hard to find quality like this, like it's not hard to find, but it's just different. I just used to spend every waking hour on sites like TCG Player, waiting for a good deal, scoop that Regirock up for about $55. Regice was a birthday gift, somewhat recently, but, Mewtwo was, I'm pretty sure he was just an eBay purchase for, like, he's got a little... Yeah, there's quite a bit of history in this binder. I love EX era, so a lot of things you're gonna see are just cool cards from around there, because I love every era just about. Kind of just started slowing down these past few years because it's less interesting to me. I really liked picking up random Japanese promos and stuff from back in the day. I just made a little printout of the exchange please or trade please promo. I like displaying the hollow back because it's awesome, See that shine? Obviously, we got some really cool cards. Paid $14 for that card when it first came out. Yeah. I used to have the Rowlet, but traded it to my brother. Cool card right here. I found it on like Facebook Marketplace. It's a Korean Magmortar level X, and those are, good luck coming by one of those at a decent price, is all I'll tell ya. And yeah, I definitely love this page quite a bit. My Uyama's Pikachu. Traded for... Actually, no, I bought this for $40. I didn't even trade for it. I bought it off of Reddit. Somebody had about... Lord knows how many copies he had. He just said he bought a bunch of them straight from the vending machine in Japan, and this is crispy, it's minty, it's beautiful. I love it. Um, obviously, everybody knows about this Wurmple. The best card of all time. I love this card so much. For people that don't know, this is like, I don't know, an out of 5,250, I think. It's supposed to be like 1 out of 5,000, and then there was like 250 extra copies made for whatever reason, but Trico's part of that set too. I love this card. Add Pikachu. Something like that. But, yeah, just cards that incorporate, like, real life. I love. And, that's a, sign for things to come. Moving on. Got beautiful things like this Domino's Pizza promo. Slowbro. And that Slowpoke is also a Domino's promo, Japanese. I like stuff like that. Like this is a 7-Eleven promo, Japanese, but it's gosh, what's that a secret rare in? Like Team Magma? I can't remember what that's a secret rare in, but moving onward, we have some stuff like this, level X's, one time space distortion in the corner. I'm not gonna stick around on the level X's too much because they're not my biggest love. I don't really have any crazy ones. I just kind of wanted to fill out a page, and there it is. Now, for something that I like a bit more, I quite love the legend cards. I want to have a full page of it, but as you can see, I'm missing one set. Which one I'll do to complete that, I'm not quite sure, but most of these were acquired in ways that would just be impossible now. Like, I mean, these were bought off TCG Player for less than $20 a card, if even 10. I can't even remember, but they were super cheap. This Ho-Oh is from a yard. It's beat to hell. It's loved, but it was from a yard sale and a lot for $30, just full of value and value. But at the time, I mean, just like the value of finding something cool to put in the binder. This was actually from a recent local trade show. Traded for that. Can't really remember, just some random stuff. Extra junk I didn't need. From moving on, I do fancy me some old XY EXs. Feels so weird calling them old, because that's when I started getting really serious about collecting. I had been collecting before, but I really just started getting obsessed with it. On that other page, there's definitely some cool cards. My brother pulled 2 of these. Yeah, I know. Ha. But, yeah, I do like modern cards a bit. The tag teams are beautiful. I used to have more, but traded them. Oh well. Got some nice V's from Evolving Skies. I really like this Noivern more than the Evolutions, but I do quite like that Espeon and Glaceon. They're really cool. Really nice artwork. I think Jolteon is my favorite evolution overall, but I feel like overall Jolteon does not get the greatest artworks, but there's some bangers. I just don't have enough. There's a few more EXs worth showing off. I do quite like these cards. I can remember pulling this card in a Walgreens parking lot. Fresh out of the pack. Actually, a lot of these I've just pulled myself. Some of them are also, they say some. It's about half and half are like store bought, but yeah, definitely pulled a good chunk of some of these cool cards. Primes, I like primes. I just don't, it's kind of just to pick them up when I see them. Got filler cards in, even for the EXs right now, just because I've traded some recently. Gotta take out some of my trade fodder and refill these holes. Yeah, I really, really like Manectric. One of my favorite Pokemon, so we've got a page just dedicated to the boy. We've got some shiny cards, Call of Legends and old black and white secret rare shinies, Diamond and Pearl reverse hollows, the whole shebang, tin promos. They're all beautiful. What's next? It's funny, I'm at a weird angle right now, so it almost feels kind of weird going through this binder, like I won't even know what's coming next when I should. Especially when it's my most favorite Pokemon of all time, the Reggies. Surprisingly, even though I have a whole page dedicated to Regigigas, he's not my favorite. That would go to Regirock. Probably followed by Regice and then Regieleki, just because I'm a sucker for that little yellow guy. Then back here, we're definitely simmering down a little bit. We just got some actual pre-release promos and stuff from playing in tournaments. Sorry, I'm running off a bit too little sleep here. But yeah, I started getting back into it again. Bit more modern. Played in some random ones here and there. Also just have some cool random pickups along the way, like a staff beast ring and just cool stamped cards. Got these from I think the Yeti Gaming was my local card store, was giving those out for free for some event. And then back here we've just got extra Reggie cards and strange cards. Random ones, to say the least. Like, I found all of these at a thrift store, and these I just thought were cool at some point, and I picked them up on eBay for almost nothing. This requires elite ball knowledge. Not really, just fun school Pokemon India release, Cool stuff. And there we go. That one's over. I'd say in terms of overall excitement for wanting to go super flashy, the next binder, that would have to be this one. And I've definitely simmered down a bit on my overall allure to Wizards of the Coast, but there's some pretty beautiful cards in that line of the series they were doing. I love Shinings. I'd have a whole page of them if I could, but right now 6 is enough. Got a cool Crystal Nidoking there. Bought that on some random auction while I was on vacation with my family. Shouldn't be looking at auctions, but it was a good deal. It was a good deal, I tell you. Just picked that up recently at the same local card show. I did that Entei and Suicune Legend. That was awesome. Had some of these a real long time. Traded somebody on Reddit, I think, for this one. That one's from Facebook Marketplace. I used to have 2. One of them I just bought straight up. One of them I traded somebody for. That one's a lot nicer than the one I used to have. These cards are awesome. I love Dark Gengar. He's so goofy looking. But yeah, I scooped this up in really nice shape off TCG Player a long time ago for what feels like a stupid deal now. You know, you'd never see anybody selling a card like that anywhere near those kind of price points anymore. I love Neo. Just Neo anything, and e-reader. More exciting e-reader stuff over here. Oh, hold on, let's see it. So I love Alakazam, so of course we have Skyridge Alakazam, because why not? He's not in perfect shape, but you know, with a card like that, it's going to be hard to get one in perfect shape. Even back then, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I love e-readers, but again, it's WotC. It's cool. I greatly appreciate the history of this era of cards, but it did not maintain my highest tier of focus. That was definitely held by EX era. I have my favorites though. Like I have every holo from. Don't blank on it now. It's Neo Discovery. I know that. But yeah, I finished that set quite early. I do kind of wish I had prioritized some of the other Neo sets, obviously, because there's some quite cool cards in there that used to be a lot cheaper. Yeah, beautiful firework cards from Legendary Collection and some holos. More Neota. I think this ends off the Neo part of the WotC binder, but yeah. I love Meganium. A little more than Feraligatr. Used to have 2 Feraligatrs, traded one off. Sorry, Feraligatr. Just more WotC stuff, Japanese. I don't know. I used to be a lot more passionate about this era, but it's just... I quite like looking at it, but it's faded. You know, that's all I can say. I like picking up Shadowless cards when I can, so, you know, first edition Magneton, Shadowless Zapdos, Raichu, Gyarados, Mewtwo. I used to have like 2 or 3 Shadowless Mewtwo's from some crazy Mewtwo lot I bought for like $100. That would just not be possible today. You know, a lot of times I'm going to be saying that. Not possible today. I guess it could be, but you know, you gotta hunt. You gotta dig in yard sales and shit and find. Not everything's possible anymore, but there's still deals to be had. Got some nice base set too. I can't remember. I have a 1999-2000, but I think that's just a starter deck, so it doesn't really matter. Got some cool cards. This is more of the promo section of Wizards of the Coast era. Ancient Mew, an all-time classic, winner promos, and just best of overall Southern Island type shit. Beautiful cards over here. Of course, we have Suckling Sentret. I don't think I need to explain why that card was revised a bit for English, but I love it. Cool Porygon, just overall one of the best cards ever made. Oh, he's cool, isn't he? It's in his name. Birthday Pikachu. Man, I got a crazy deal on that. I can't even remember, but I just traded some random full art back in the day. Oh, I love this card. This is definitely like some peak Wizards of the Coast era stuff right there. Promos were definitely where it's at. And then just kind of boring jungle. Yay, jungle, fossil. Cooler stuff, more promo-y. Korokoro, glossy. Vending promos, love vending. Great Poliwrath right here. Honestly, very worth it to have. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, Komiya. I'm so dumb. That's Komiya, right? Yeah, that's Komiya. Komiya the goat. I love me some Komiya. More promos, just, you know, as you can see, just kind of filling out binder slots. And we just got more e-reader stuff. I have another binder dedicated to non-holo Wizards of the Coast, but I like the e-reader a little bit more. And then I found this card at Goodwill. I just drew a little Goodwill symbol on it. More e-reader, extra holos. You know, random stuff in the back here. And yeah, a vending Sandslash. So that concludes that binder. Gotta love Wizards of the Coast. One more look at these buttes. Gosh, that's a cool shine. I will not lie. That's kind of one of the biggest allures to these cards for me is the shine. I love cheap chrome colors and all the tacky Galaxy vintagey foils. We're gonna go next with my personal favorite binder, and this is an artist focus, and it goes back to me talking about liking cards with like a real life setting, and those with ball knowledge will instantly know where I'm going. But Yukimori is my goat. I love Yukimori. I've tried to collect just about every card I could. Obviously, I'm missing some of the, you know, cream of the crop Yukimori cards, but I've got some of the harder ones, definitely. I wish I had the other two of this quad set. I do quite like these. I love the Bulbasaur the most, and the Trico. The Origins Charmander is really cool, but there's another convention Squirtle Ditto that's just stupid to get, and I still need the, oh, let's not focus on what I still need. Let's just look at the cool stuff. This I just got, Stellar Crown, Meltan. I don't know, I like Meltan, so I can't remember what I replaced with that, but I thought Meltan deserved a spotlight. This one's cool, Tanto Clefairy. I don't really know too much about that, but I know it was a collaboration, and when I saw it, I had to have it. Scooped these two Master Balls up from 151 for a pretty good deal at the time. And then, yeah, I pretty much just, you know, I wish to have as good of a copy and, you know, edition of card that I can for each, but I just picked up what I could at the time when I could, because I was really just focused on having one of each artwork just because I love looking at it. I would stare at this binder, and honestly, I still do quite often. But yeah, we just got some random stuff in between. Like, I think this is a French Light Azumarill. Just thought that was fun. Got random first editions, and as you can see, I'm not really too picky. Like, I'll have a Japanese holo there. I had an English one. It's probably somewhere. I don't think it's in a binder, though. I don't really want to dig it up right now, though. I love poly cards. Politoed, Poliwrath, Poliwag, Poliwhirl. They're beautiful. I mean, I think that this is like... This and the Poliwag are just... honestly, some of my favorite cards by her of all time. They're just awesome. I don't know what it is. I think she reminds me of, like... It feels like I'm looking at a snippet of, like, a large Pokemon I Spy. In a way. And I'm just kind of nostalgic for that stuff. Yeah, just more More Yukimori going down the line. Even got the Verse series. I love the Versus series set. I really like the Ursaring, and I think the Machamp are my favorite. He's pretty close. This one always gets me, you know? It doesn't... Obviously, it's in the same background, but there's something about the holo and the way that it frames that car that just makes it look a little like computer graphic-y, even though I know it's clay and I know it's not. It's just weird. I love it nonetheless, though. More beautiful cards. These reverse holos are awesome. But yeah, you know, I'd love to have reverse holos when I can, or quirky editions, like pre-release edition right there for that Swalot. Go Swalot. We love you, Swalot. But yeah, you know, it's just a lot of her most beautiful cards have beautiful holo patterns to accompany them from the EX era. I love that Pokeball pattern, and you know, not every card I have for her is in perfect condition. Like, this is one of the main outliers. It's pretty rough, but pretty much everything I got, I tried to get it in just about as good as condition as I could get, whether it be lightly play or near mint. Or, you know, I'm not too big of a stickler. I'll go for moderately played, heavily played, damaged. I think it's just cool owning the card, having it in a binder to look at whenever I want. That's all I really want, is just to say I own this card and I can look at it when I feel like. But yeah, lots of Yukimori cards. Beautiful, beautiful cards. I could talk about a lot of these for hours. There's so many of them that I love. I'd say more than others, but each of them just kind of feels like they have their own story. Even though that's a little corny. I love them. Yeah, you know, these cards getting expensive nowadays. Sometimes I forget that, you know, there's even a tag team in this binder. Cool stuff like a calendar promo. I love that they, you know, started giving her illustration rares and full arts. Really, really cool stuff to see them in a bigger frame, or a bigger picture, a larger frame, whatever the best way to say that is. But we're getting towards the end here. In fact, we're at it. I don't have all the most recent ones. I'm like a couple sets behind, I know that, and these aren't perfectly organized anymore. I kind of stopped caring about perfect organization as long as they were in there, you know. But yeah, I love those cards. It is a dangerous amount of time I've spent looking at those. Now, normally, I feel like I'd have the energy to press onward, but I'll probably just go through the other binders if... I don't know. I'll probably just have to make another video going through the other binders, because there's... What, I only went through 3, so there's at least 4 more I could go through that have cool stuff to show off just from collecting over the past 10 plus years. If that's something that seems interesting, I can try and expedite the process. People are interested, but yeah. I hope that was interesting and in some way insightful to your collecting journeys, those who watch this. Keep at it. Epic. Let's go.